Welcome, everyone, to the Bluegrass State. Race 13 of the AT&T Champ Car World Series season brings us to Kentucky Speedway once again, the mile-and-a-half racetrack in Sparta, Kentucky, located at equal distance, about an hour drive from Louisville and from Cincinnati. Prime real estate for a World Championship event. After already having a race last night for the Champ Car Challenger Series, it is now the World Series term. Welcome everyone to ABN's coverage of the Champ Car World Series and the IndyCar World Championship all season long. Points becoming a focal point, the talk of the town going into this event, and nothing says that more than a 40-point gap. That's the gap that Evangeline Porter has over Wyatt Jones and BK Glover going into the second half of the season. Nearly a full race just by consistency. Evangeline Porter, a singular podium this season. No race wins in what has been a race season where just about everyone's had a chance to get a race win. Porter's just relied on consistency. The most top fives, the most top tens among all drivers in the field. She starts fifth today. Can she keep that streak alive? Her older sister, Stephanie Porter Kelly, extends her record with the most pole positions in the World Championship category. Another pole position for Porter Kelly, the three-time world champion. We'll see the Striker Motorsports drivers start on the front row. The pole position for the three-time world champion, Simona Leroux, another Chevrolet for Highlight Racing, sitting alongside in row one. Elise Alexander and Natalia Velisevich sitting in row two. Evangeline Porter, as we talked about, starting fifth, alongside the defending world champion, Nicole Lechty. It'll be very interesting to see how the Fords and Chevrolets intermingle here in the Bluegrass State. And it's going to be very interesting. This is the same group of engines that were together for the Indianapolis 500, the last major oval race we had before we went to Nazareth, the small oval, then road courses with Chicago and not Road America, but Mid-Ohio, right back to back. So first high-speed oval in play since Indy, and there's a lot to sort of digest. Was Indianapolis something different, or is there a trend in hand? Qualifying indicates that there might be. The best Honda well further back in the field, the best Toyota back in the top 10, row 4, Artyom Kozlov there. You don't really see a Honda. You have to go all the way down the running order here, all the way down to row 8, Shufan Jiang in 16th, to find a Honda car. They've just been struggling here as of late. Artyom Kozlov, who mentioned, the best Toyota driver in row 4 alongside Hazel Leon, who is coming up to speed once again on Champ Car machinery after spending almost 2 years in Formula 1. Good qualifying performance, though, for the Kiwi. Andrew Draco, two-time world champion from 2017 and 2020, starts in the row 5 alongside Matthias Michelin. Draco's got a race win this season already, won a couple weeks ago in Chicago. Mia Valdez, Sakura Ishibashi sit in row number 6. Then it's BK Glover and Wyatt Jones in row 7. Third and second in the championship there in that 7th row. Very bad that they've given up so much position to the championship leader in qualifying alone. We saw last night how difficult it was to gain it back in an ultra-competitive and ultra-close field. This is a more open development field. That'll be a lot harder to do. Julia Takani and Shufan Jiang sit in row number 8. It was going to be an all-Arrowhead row 8. Alicia Kovalkiewicz with a 10th-place grid drop will start 25th instead of alongside her teammate Takani. Catherine Hart and Asher Crane in row 9. Then Cameron Jackson and Kaka Kobayashi round out the top 20, starting in row 10. Thomas Rogers and Esther Hofson in row 11, ahead of Bianca Lucero and Marcus Petrovich in row 12. Kovalkiewicz, as we mentioned, serving a penalty, will start alongside Anastasius von Sonnen to round out this 26-car field. It's time to send a trackside for those most famous words. After that, let's go racing.
Drivers, start your engines.
26 cars, 600 horsepower each. will launch for 300 miles, 200 laps of racing for the Quaker State 300 in Kentucky. For everyone tuning in via your local ABN affiliate or worldwide via ABN Sports and ABN Plus. We're glad you're with us here for a wonderful day of racing. Clouds off in the distance. Rain has been in the area. It will not be a factor for this race. The rain expecting to stay to the west of the circuit until tonight. We'll be all done and dusted here by the time we get to 3 p.m. One caution yesterday, expecting about the same amount today if we get one at all. Strategy will be pretty key. Undercut was very valuable yesterday, and it should be even more so today. The green flag will fly, and it's time to set the second half of the season in motion. We're racing once again in the Bluegrass State, and Porter Kelly starts off with an immediate getaway. Trying to pull her teammate Alexander alongside to get the team an early 1-2 handle on things here. Car tagging the wall early, that's Shufin Zhang. 3 wide for their behind. Wyatt Jones far on the outside lane, one of the only drivers with experience in this field at Kentucky Speedway in a stock car. Tagging the wall there though for LaRoe. LaRoe drifting up top. Everyone's struggling. Shufin Zhang struggling still. These tires getting up the temperature. Firestone Firerock tires, pretty durable, but taking some time to get up to temp. It was a little bit like this last night, even more so when you think about how much more streamlined these cars are. These cars half a second faster on their own compared to the Champ Car Challenger Series that we saw last night in the nighttime conditions. The track is hotter as well. So these tires will get up the temperature pretty quickly, but less downforce in these World Series machines, meaning everyone's got their hands full to get this race started. Wyatt Jones, pretty good case in point here from 14th on the grid. He's already fallen down several spots. He is well outside the top 10 at the moment, dealing with Cameron Jackson, who is doing a good job bringing his car forward. As you watch the cars roll across your screen, this is at pit exit entering turn number 1. And Stafford Porter Kelly doing a great job so far. Car is trying to move forward. That is the 95 of Takani trying to move forward. On the outside lane, successfully around Sakura Ishibashi. Ishibashi trying to rally back on the inside lane, can't do it. Not where the car wants to be at the moment, as the opening laps are in full force right now. But for the forward, that is the 3 of Artyom Kozlov, the Russian ace. Rolling behind Evangeline Porter. Sisters 1 and 2. Different teams, different goals, different motivations. I've still found them crossing paths. And what is effectively Evangeline Porter's home race. An hour from Cincinnati. Closest track for Porter. Stephanie Porter Kelly, living in Orlando, could call several tracks home. It called St. Petersburg a home race at one point. Called Pensacola home. Could call Daytona home. Could call a lot of tracks home. Palm Beach, Homestead, you pick it. Being in Orlando, you have central choice of just about every pick in the state of Florida. And now looking at the 3 of Artyom Kozlov here, sitting just outside the top 5 in 6th place. Andrew Draco making his way into the top 5, battling for 4th with the Swiss miss of Simona LaRoe. That Red Bull Highlight Racing car in a bit of a advertising frenzy if you are LaRoe. Rumors are emerging that LaRoe will not be returning to the Swiss team in 2025. And Red Bull will go with Leroux, wherever Leroux goes next. So a lot of funding behind the number 77 machine. If this is the last season for Leroux in Highlight Racing, advertise and grab results on the way out. And that's exactly what Leroux is trying to do right now, battling in the top 5 early on here in Kentucky. Draco up to 3rd. Leroux trying to get back to the 4th spot around Alexander. Felicevich in the mix as well, and look at just behind, that is BK Glover already in the mix. Teammates side by side between Glover and Kozlov there, the 3 and the 6. There is the Iron Maiden, the defending world champion, Nicole Lechty. Trying to find her way around Artyom Kozlov, and does. Wyatt Jones stemmed the bleeding. Started this race in 14th, and now up to the 12th spot. Ahead of Matthias Michelin, there is Cameron Jackson, Julia Takani, and then you have Sakura Ishibashi. Several spots up is gained as well for Alicia Kovalkiewicz. She started 25th, now around the 31 of Catherine Hart. Now shadowing and trailing the 20 of Shufin Zhang. Clusters of cars side by side still in the opening segments of this race. Fast lap early on. Could watch this fall a little bit further as this race progresses. 24.2 for Mia Valdez. That's a 222 mile an hour fastest lap for the 34, who's center of your screen right now. Valdez in the 10th spot. Make that 9th, getting around Kozlov, who's fallen back. And now behind Matthias Michelin, Kozlov being absolutely steamrolled early on and pushed out of the top 10. Pretty well in station at the moment. Wyatt Jones now up to the 10th spot ahead of Hazel Leon. Kozlov beginning to climb back up the field, trying to get around the 99 of Matthias Michelin. Bit of a struggle there for Sakura Ishibashi, who tried to make a pass around Cameron Jackson, failed to do so. And now under pressure from Takani as the opening segment of this race winds down and everyone prepares for the long haul here in Kentucky. This Quaker State 300 well and truly underway. Both Arrowhead racing cars trying to move forward. Takani on Ishibashi, Kovalkiewicz on Shufin Zhang. It did not work out well for Kovalkiewicz. Neither did it work out for Takani. And now Kovalkiewicz will actually lose a spot to Catherine Hart. And you see the separation already that exists between those in the midfield and those straggling and really battling the relegation fight at the moment. And trouble, whoa, that's a car in the fence, and that is Leon. And the caution flies for the first time today, and it looks like it is just Leon. In trouble once again, the 32 car. That'll see the caution come out for the first time today. A lot of smoke there in turns 1 and 2, and a lot of skid marks that go with it. What happened to Leon? This is going to be a quick look at it, and it's just an engine failure. Engine failure and a tag of the wall there. I say engine failure, we should probably hesitate before we say engine failure, but something let go of that car harshly. And for Leon, who had a similar issue at Chicago, this one even a little bit more high impact for Leon. And right in the face of Artyom Kozlov as well. It's hard to hazard a guess as to what would cause the car to just veer or stop turning. Unless there was a steering column that broke and it caused other issues, I'm not sure what would have happened there. There's no power steering for that to fail in these cars. But pit stops will happen early here. Similar to what we saw with the Challenger Series, expecting about 75 laps per tank of fuel. Porticelli stays ahead of her sister there. So it's Stephanie and Evangeline, first and second. Andrew Draco in third. And it looks like they'll give it to LaRoe over Lechty there, fourth and fifth. Alexander will lose a spot there. Glover gains a couple. Wyatt Jones gains several as well. He's in the top 10 now with that pit stop. Looks like Wyatt Jones will actually get that spot back. It looks like Lechty, they might actually end up giving Lechty fourth here, and they do. So Lechty will slot in line fourth place for the Iron Maiden. Slotted into position here. Lights on the Ford Raptor pace truck. We are one car down with Hazel Leon. We'll wait to get confirmation as to what's caused the retirement there for the Kiwi. As we said in the caution for the first time today. Only had one caution yesterday as well. That was in the Challenger Series, 32 cars for that series, 26 in the World Series. It is Stephanie Porticelli, front and center here in Kentucky. Has led every lap so far. And coming around the line this time, it'll be 22 laps led for the Orlando native. Out means we'll go be green at the end of this lap, the Quaker State 300 here in Kentucky Speedway. We'll get off to a restart here, single file. Everyone will have to jockey for themselves going into this. 25 cars still running, Leon out, everyone on the lead lap that is still running. From Porticelli to Matthias Michelin, Stricker Motorsports unfortunately bookending the field as it runs right now. Porticelli chasing race win 47, which would extend her advantage as the winningest driver in World Championship history. Evangeline Porter, the winless route we've talked about so often, could be on the line here. Green flag comes right back out, and away we go. And everyone was in anticipation of that as we go back racing in force. Pretty organized top five. The further back you go, some trying the gamesmanship route to gain an advantage. Here comes Draco to the inside of Porter. A lot of former teammates there in that Black Rose Racing stable all together, sharing that team the 2017 season, the year that Draco won his first world title. It was Porter, Lechty, and Draco alongside Alan Herrera and Patrick Marcelli. All a part of that extensive group. And the more that they battle, the more that Stephanie Porticelli gets the pull away here. Over for the back in the order 3 wide. Chu Fin Jiang did not pan out well in that endeavor, being on the very far outside line. But everyone lives to fight another day. Very close field here. Alexander falling backwards, though, quite heavily in losing spots. Wyatt Jones in the middle. Takani on the very far inside lane. Not ideal if you are someone like Takani, but Ishibashi suffered a way worse fate. You cannot enter turn lane straddling that yellow line the way Ishibashi did, and learning the hard way. Very close racing here. And Takani just did the exact same thing Ishibashi did, got forced down 3 wide. Teammates made a little bit of contact there. That was Kovalkiewicz and Takani. Crane tagged the wall a little bit. Hopefully not a significant damage there for the 80 car. A little bit of clumsiness, though, in the field on that restart in the laps that have come since. But should be a quick race to really just wind everything in. Petcher is trying to charge forward there on Kovalkiewicz, trying to maximize his ability to score points at a time where he really needs to. The 21 car well below the relegation cutoff line and in danger. As Takani once again struggles 3 wide, Ishibashi up on the very far outside lane. It is a madhouse here at the very bottom. Kobayashi thought he was coming down pit lane. He had to get out of the gas big time, and he slowed up Lucero in the process. Meanwhile, Takani's over-aggressiveness has cost her several spots here, as she now sits just above the top 20. "31 laps led for Stephanie Porter-Kelly. She's led every single lap so far in this event. Andrew Draco's gotten around the 81 of Porter. Meanwhile, the main 2 drivers that have been trying to chase Porter down all season are also in this group. BK Glover currently ahead of Wyatt Jones, both on track and live points look in the points. As here comes Alexander battling Wyatt Jones for that 8th spot. Mia Valdez in the 10th position. With the top 10 separating themselves from the rest of the field. Cameron Jackson in 11th as things currently run. Jackson ahead of Milicevic. That's Kovalkiewicz, who's, by the way, started 15th in this race, already up more than 10 spots. Up 12 spots right now, actually, for Kovalkiewicz. Trying to race her way into the top 10. Here by Milicevic, and Kovalkiewicz trying to find a way through. Woo! That was close between Kovalkiewicz and Hart. Glover getting right to the gearbox supporter, trying to get around the Swiss Miss Simona Leroux. That is 4/5, so Glover gets that at the moment. A lot of teammates, though, in this top 10 group. Yeah, 2 striker cars with Porter-Kelly and Alexander. You've got both the Highlight Racing cars with Lecty and Leroux. 2 of the 3 Team Impulse cars with Glover and Kozlov there, the 3 car. You can see the gap between Alexander and Milicevic there, as they all battle it out. Shifin Jang trying to battle forward. So is Asher Crane. So the Honda's trying to battle forward here in race pace at the moment. 3 of them in a cluster all together, with Cameron Jackson there in tow as well. And once again, Takani just way too aggressive entering turn 1, losing several more spots. And now under threat from the 21 of Petrovic. Self-inflicted wounds for Takani, the rookie driver who has never raced at Kentucky before. Not an easy racetrack to race at. We covered yesterday how asymmetrical this racetrack is. 14 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2, 11 in turns 3 and 4. It is unusual. Which has made her way up to the 11th spot and has brought Shufan Zhang and Asher Crane along for the ride. Huge middle group here. The midfield pretty thick and intense compared to the front line, which is a line at the moment. They know the better that you keep yourself ahead of this group right here, the easier it will be to control the race later on. Talks about one of the keys of the race going into today, trying to manage gaps. It wasn't easy last night for the Challenger Series to make inroads. It's even harder in the World Series to try to make up deficits. And here comes the 80 of Asher Crane, very aggressive there on the entry to turn 1, but it pans out. The several-year veteran for Asher Crane, at least staying stationary, did not lose spots like Takani did. Kelly, Lecty, Porter, Glover, Draco, your top 5. Right now we're looking at the middle group, 11th on back. As we rapidly approach lap 50. Battling with Kovalkiewicz and Velicevic at the moment. Let's look further forward. A little bit of a battle here between championship contenders. Porter being passed by Glover through turn 1. That puts Glover up to 3rd. Three of the 4 manufacturers for engines in this top 10 group. Chevrolet leads the 1-2. Porter the best Ford. Glover the best Toyota. And there's multiple representatives for each of those 3 brands in the top 10. And the one you don't see in this top 10 is Honda, but they are battling for 11th place at the moment, with both Crane and Shufan Zhang in this mix. Cameron Jackson also in this group as well. We'll add to that tally too. Kovalkiewicz being entrusted with trying to lead the field closer to the leaders. That is a lot easier said than done when the lead pack is going as fast as it is right now. 220 miles an hour for the race leader, Stephanie Porter Kelly. Kovalkiewicz and her persistent battling has left her stuck at 218 miles an hour. So 2 mile an hour speed difference for your average lap speed makes that difficult. Glover looking for second place, looking to the inside of the Iron Maiden, the defending world champion Nicole Lecty, as Draco looks to the inside of Porter. A lot of world championships in the top 5 here. 3 for Porter Kelly, 1 for Lecty, 2 for Draco. Jones just kind of shadowing and watching as this battle plays out. Another car out of this race. That is an engine failure for Thomas Rogers. Rogers out with an engine failure. Brings us down to 24 cars. So that leaves just the two Team Impulse cars that are in this group right now. And Glover sits second place, as Kozlov battles for fifth and gets it. Past the quarterway at this point pretty quickly in this race. Now on lap 55 of 200 here in Kentucky. Coming to complete lap 55 and start lap 56. Stephanie Porter Kelly has led every single lap so far in today's event. Trying to find race win number 47 in her career, after starting this race on pole. Pole that deep out with Glover for second place, just behind. You see that in your screen. A little bit of a separation between the top five, and then those 6th and 7th. That's Porter, Jones, and Leroux. Valdez already been dispatched. Alexander in an island at the moment, as this group continues to battle. Michelin, who restarted this race after that restart in 25th, has made its way up to 11th place. So he has done overall an exceptional job rebounding after a terribly slow pit stop. As the racing calms down once more, see the realization of everyone's position at the moment. Bianca Lucero and Anastasia Sponsonen battling for precious real estate right now. 23rd and 24th. The relegation fight will be even more strenuous as the season runs its course. Porter Kelly runs at the front of the field pretty easily at the moment. No one really challenging her too awful hard. Glover in second, though, could mount that change ahead of Lechty and Draco. With Kozlov holding on to the top five. Car coming down pit lane is Draco coming down pit lane. And this is a little bit earlier than we anticipated. We thought about 75 laps for a tank of fuel. Draco coming in on lap 61 does draw some intrigue here. Realistically, he should have been good to about lap 90 with all things considering. An early pit stop here for Andrew Draco. Puts him a lap down early. Gives him some fresher tires here to try to make things happen. I don't feel like fresh tires will be as effective as they were in the Challenger Series yesterday, but we're gonna find out. Draco gonna take a stab at it. The race winner from Chicago 2 weeks ago gonna take a swing. And there's Draco coming out. He's gonna be 2 laps down. That's how much time you lose on pit lane here at Kentucky in Champ Car competition. 2 laps. And he was 4th entering. Now he's 24th. So, very good likelihood that this does not pan out in Draco's favor. or it could. Race leader is about to encounter its first lap traffic of the day with Lucero and Von Sonnen on the list. Draco looks to the inside of Lechty into 3. Late lunge might pay off here on the exit of 4. See how Porter Kelly and company handles the lap traffic as they wrap around turns 1 and 2 here. Closing in, pretty decent speed difference, about 3-mile-an-hour speed difference between Von Sonnen and Porter Kelly in favor of Porter Kelly. She is going to be the measuring stick for where the race leaders need to go here. But Sonnen and Lucero will not make it easy either. Porter Kelly sends it right to the inside lane. Pretty easy real estate there for Porter Kelly to live in. Just got to keep it that way. Clever around the gearbox will follow along as well. Oh, Glover, this is his chance to try to go for the race lead. Backed out of it, though. I don't think Porter Kelly is being denied a slot at the inside lane to try to get around the lap traffic. So Porter Kelly leads once more. And as I mentioned, every lap led so far by car number 60. Porter Kelly has led 69 laps today. Nice. Draco 2 laps down after making an early pit stop in this run. He pit on 61. 75 laps we're expecting to be about the pit window. Based on what we saw last night, what we've seen this weekend so far, it seems to be pretty accurate. So we won't need to see drivers come back down pit lane for another really 20-ish laps, looking at it. We can wait a little bit. Porter Kelly, Glover, Lechty, all clear of Bianca Lucero. Ooh, trouble there, struggling there for Simona Leroux. Ooh, straddled the old line and paid for it. Porter struggling to get around Von Sonnen. Ooh, Wyatt Jones really tight there, washed up, super tight, went up the racetrack. And now open the door for Evangeline Porter. But Wyatt Jones stays firm, holds on to the spot. That's for 5th. Kozlov trying to find a way around Lucero, and does. So that's 4 cars around Lucero. 2 cars nose to tail. It's Glover and Porter Kelly. Sitting right now in that 2nd position, just shadowing Porter Kelly as more lap traffic sits us up ahead. That is Hofson and Kobayashi that sits up ahead. And a three-car gaggle further up the road by a decent margin. It's Jackson, Takani, and the 2021 of Petrovic. On our own now, Shufin Chang has lost the draft of this group right here. Ishibashi, last car in this group. That is Velicevic, Kovalkiewicz, Hart, Crane, and I believe that is Michelin. Yeah, it is Michelin. They're in the mix. So cars spread out pretty sporadic as things run. Grab ourselves a static camera here for a moment just so you can see how spread out the field is around this mile-and-a-half racetrack. Really good looking crowd here at Kentucky Speedway for this event. Pretty spread out, but race leaders about to encounter more lap traffic. Hobson and Kobayashi in the mix. Guys led every lap so far. Now 79 laps led here in Kentucky. I don't think we've seen quite a dominating race this season. We've seen races where it's been a couple drivers that have really run away with it. Portichelli's statistically been perfect, having led every lap so far. I'm sure that will probably change here once we get to the green flag pit stops. But it's not very often we see a race quite like this, even in the World Series. Portichelli controlling the tempo though, getting around Hobson, now managing a way around the 42 of Kobayashi. Glover again in tow, trying to find his way around and potentially challenge for the race lead. Had a shot, the door was open and Portichelli left it open, but Glover couldn't fit through. And that's the third time Portichelli has left the door open for Glover and he just hasn't been able to capitalize on it. Meanwhile, Lechty is completely barred off and shut out from the top two and feeling the frustration from it. Three cars in the top three, all in this group, as Lechty tries to find a way around the 42 of Kobayashi. Over for the back, this is this group of four, all of them for position. Jones, Kozlov, Porter, Leroux, this is for 4th through 7th. They have lost 2 seconds on the race leader due to the lap traffic situation. They go around Lucero. See this angle of the cars once again. This is beginning with Alexander. This is the fringe of the top 10. Alexander, Michelin, Kovalkiewicz, Crane, Hart, Velicevic, and Ishibashi all in this group. All the way down to Shufin Chang is in 16th and on an island, but not for much longer because there's her teammate, Cameron Jackson. There's Julia Takani and Marcus Petrovic all in that group. Petrovic, the last car on the lead lap as things currently stand here in Kentucky. Pit stop's not too far away for the first time under green flag conditions. We had a pit stop cycle under caution around lap 16. It has been a green flag since. So, field hoping they can get through the full green flag sequence and see where they're at the end of that. That's what they're hoping for right now. Whether or not we get it remains to be seen, but we know that the pit stop sequence will be starting here very soon. So with anticipation, we wait to see how this all plays out. Porter Kelly leads over Glover, over Lechty. And the top three stay together, albeit a little bit strained, as those 4th through 7th battle to try to get around Esterhofsen. Wyatt Jones will lead the field around across start finish line and into turn 1. When we talk about points and how much they can swing, the point swing would be pretty dramatic for BK Glover. From 3rd to 2nd with a really good chance to really make things happen. Whoa, missed pit entry for Esterhofsen. Green flag stays out for the car, and there goes caution. Wow. Oh my goodness. What a deal that does to change things. Glover leads. Porter Kelly under caution in the pit lane will be stuck a lap down. And won't be alone in being stuck a lap down here. Wow. Esterhofsen completely missed pit entry and spun and came to a stop in the infield on the front straightaway and drew the caution. Mid-pit cycle. And the driver with 90 laps led today is now stuck a lap down. That is a worst case scenario for Stephanie Porter Kelly, who had done so much work to dominate the race to this point. And we'll see none of the fruits of that as things stand. That is an absolute gut punch if I've ever seen one. See all the cars that came down pit lane. It's not a huge list, but it is a list of cars that came down pit lane. And Porter Kelly, the biggest driver on that list, and Taya Velisevich also on that list, along with Catherine Hart. Absolutely gut-wrenching. That is a gift in the hands of BK Glover, looking for his second win this season. So caution out for the second time for a spin from Esterhofsen. Hofsen now 4 laps down, but still running. for Esterhofsen. The spiral continues to get a little bit worse. Now stuck pretty well down the order. Four laps down and out of the way. A full lap behind Lucero. Meanwhile, the race leader, BK Glover, will start this race in traffic. Control of the restart's going to actually belong to, I believe, Bianca Lucero. It will. So this will be very interesting to see how this all plays out. Stephanie Porter-Kelly led 90 laps to start this race, but is stuck a lap down after Esterhofsen's spin. And the green flag flies in the traffic, ramps up. Porter-Kelly wasting no time, shedding skin, getting out of the way. She needs a quick caution is what she needs. She needs there to be a crash. And there very well could be. Trouble there. That was for Kozlov, who was in trouble. Remember, all eyes on where Glover's at compared to the rest of the field. He is the race leader. Lucero now another lap down. Catherine Hart trying to stay just one lap down. Same with Natalia Vulicevic. Right now they're on the lead lap, but just barely. Porter-Kelly in clean air out front. Vulicevic the wedge for BK Glover and Nicole Lechty as they try to battle forward. Here comes Wyatt Jones in the mix. Evangeline Porter in the mix as well. And then Simone Leroux. Glover in the race lead, but just barely. Wyatt Jones looking at second place. Trying to get to the race lead. Gets the inside of Glover. Wyatt Jones may take the race lead here. Lechty in third, Leroux in fourth. Draco still pinned 2 laps down. He's also in this mix. Ahead of Porter, who's sitting top 5. And Wyatt Jones straddled the yellow line a little bit too hard, a little bit over ambitious, and will drop out of the top 5. Glover trying to hold on to the race lead, trying to get around the 31 of Catherine Hart. And does. Glover, Lechty, Leroux, your top 3 at the moment, and they're all intermingled with drivers trying to stay on the lead lap. Here comes teammates battling it out. Leroux ahead of Lechty as things stand. Then there's Jones in the mix too. Glover on the outside lane though. Not where he wants to be for all of this. It's Kobayashi in front of him. Oh, big hold up there by Catherine Hart on Nicole Lechty. And Lechty not going to be happy about it. Both the Phantom Motors cars stuck a lap down or 2 laps down in Draco's case. Not how they wanted this Kentucky race to go for them, especially with both of them having pace to be on the lead lap and contending. Hart pinned by a caution. Draco pinning early, trying to hit a specific number. Both of them got snake bitten. Oh, LaRoe went well below the yellow line, trying to find a way around the 25. Wyatt Jones in second. Glover continues to lead. And it's LaRoe, then Lechty, top 4. Then Evangeline Porter taking her time, not trying to get too awful involved in the madness, sitting in the top 5 at the moment. And that's sort of been Porter's MO. It's how she's gotten a 40-point advantage in this season so far. Meanwhile, the second group reeling back in together here. That is Michelin, that is Kozlov and Valdez. Lucero, who's a lap down in this conversation. Asher Crane, who's on the lead lap and in the top 10 and 9th. And then Elise Alexander, top 10, before it separates further to the Arrowhead Racing duo of Kovalkiewicz and Takani. Halfway through this race already, and it's been a wild one. Jones under threat from LaRoe once more as they both battle behind BK Glover, the race leader at the moment. The point shift will be pretty seismic. Points lead would go from 40 points exact to 20 for Porter. It would be cut in half. That's the difference between first and fifth in the race point scoring. So Glover definitely gonna try to hold on to this. Get everything he can out of it. Jones holding on to second place ahead of LaRoe. Will have to try to find his way around the 6th car the hard way, with one pit stop left to go. Ahead are 2 cars trying to stay on the lead lap with Porter-Kelly and Natalia Vulicevic. Blessing and the curse for those on the lead lap in this lead group. 4 cars together, as it was before. Vulicevic under threat of going a lap down to Glover. Glover just trying to outrun him. I don't think it's going to work too awful well for Vulicevic. I think Glover's pretty well got this in hand at the moment. But here comes LaRoe in the mix as well. Jones will lose a spot out of that. Could lose more. There's Lechty. Porter has completely lost touch with this top 4, which is not what she wanted to do. But lap traffic made it pretty difficult from the outset. A lot of things can still go wrong for this group. We have a new race leader in Simona Leroux. Wyatt Jones battling with Glover for second place. The Swiss Miss will become the 4th race leader in this race. Lehti led 1 lap. Glover's led 27. Portichelli led 90. And Glover now in 4th place. Tail end of this line. And it's how cruel Kentucky Speedway can be sometimes. Almost a collision there between Jones and the 78 of Lehti. They avoided it. It affected Lehti more than Jones, but everyone's still going in the right direction here. 1 pit stop left in this race. Has taken the strategy guesswork out of it. If Leroux can lead 10 laps here, it'll secure most laps points for Portichelli. Leroux looking to the inside of Portichelli at the moment, trying to put the 3-time world champion a lap down. And Portichelli is going to try to fight this as much as she can. But I feel like there's just not a whole lot you can do at this point. You needed a quick caution on that restart. You didn't get it. And now for Wyatt Jones, the frustration sets in because there's 2 lap cars trying to race to get their lap back between himself and the race leader. Lehti in 3rd, Glover in 4th, in a distant 4th at that. Here comes Lehti, the Iron Maiden, to the inside lane. Portichelli looks to the inside there of Leroux, trying to force her way back in the lead lap, and that's going to help Jones and Lehti out a little bit, because Portichelli is going to fight that hard, and so will Vulicevic. They're going to fight tooth and nail for this. And this will be a perfect opportunity for Wyatt Jones to try to go for the race lead here. Kentucky, not normally a very successful track for the 25th car. Wyatt Jones struggles to win here in the Bluegrass State. Would love to get that monkey off his back in a year that's already seen him win the 111th Indianapolis 500. Gets around Vulicevic. Lehti just behind and in tow. And then Glover also still in this group. Rowe, with this lap just being led, has ensured that Portichelli will have the bonus points for most laps led. Glover's led 27 laps. Leroux led 9. Lehti's led 1. There isn't a way for anyone to now lead more than Steffi Portichelli. So she's guaranteed those bonus points, but it's consolation for being 27th right now. Not 27th, 17th. We don't have 27 cars in the racetrack. We have 24. Portichelli is the last car on the lead lap at the moment as things stand in that 17th spot, and it's just by the thinnest of margins, with the race leaders 1 and 2 just behind. Lehti trying to get around Vulicevic so she can challenge for the race lead as well. Race lead she's held for 1 lap. It will be frustrating for the lap traffic that is in the way, as much as it is for the lap traffic to be where they are at right now and having the pace to battle with the race leaders, because this is where they were at before the caution. But they were battling for the race lead, not for 17th. That spin by Hester Hofson has not only drawn the ire of some of her competitors, but also caused a rift in how drivers are going to try to handle the second half of this race we're at right now. None of it pleasant. But unfortunately for Velisevich and for Porter Kelly, it is completely necessary to have any semblance of a chance to get back on the lead lap and have a chance at racing this out and trying to get to the race lead. You've got to fight it out. LaRoe continues to lead now. This is lap 15 for LaRoe in front with 67 laps to go. Jones going for the race lead now on LaRoe. Porter Kelly out in front. LaRoe keeps the door shut. So Jones will have to settle for second place once more. Glover has lost touch with the lead group here. So he will eventually fall back to this group where Porter is alongside Michelin, Crane, Valdez, and others. I believe that's Alexander also in the mix. It is Alexander and Kozlov. So it's a 4-horse race. It's a 3-horse race right now for the lead. Again, with one pit stop left to go in this race easily. Now a Red Bull Highlight Racing 1-2 for Chevrolet. Wyatt Jones, the only Ford on the lead lap and in competition here. 20 laps led, make that 21 for LaRoe. Lechty going for the race lead. Teammates side by side. Down the back straightaway on their own. Wyatt Jones trying to cause a rift between the two, trying to put it 3 wide. To no avail. Lechty did not lead that lap either, but stays to the inside lane, the preferred lane, where LaRoe will shut the door once more, and Wyatt Jones will once again be left alone. And where he will now have to deal with both Velisevich and Draco. Going to drop behind both of them too, so this is going to really hurt him in the interim. The good news right now is that Glover's nowhere near him, and Porter is kind of stuck in 5th as the best possible result as things currently sit. So still set to be some sort of game. even if this is like right now the worst case scenario, which right now it is. Wyatt Jones sitting right now in the 3rd spot as they come around and lap Anastasius von Sonnen to put him 2 laps down in this contest. I will say the big concern right now for Wyatt Jones is that he may lose touch with the race leaders. The 2 teammates are going to be coordinated. And it's Chevrolet, 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 because Porter Kelly's right there as well, being the trendsetter, the pace setter once again. Wyatt Jones will be in trouble here because they can't get around von Sonnen. So this is where it could become troublesome for Wyatt Jones in terms of his chance to win this race. But as long as he stays with the likes of Draco and the likes of Velisevich, he'll have the pace to stay ahead of Glover, of Porter, of Crane. But he's not even really doing that at the moment. Struggled mightily into turn 1 once again. It's been his kryptonite really in this race so far. Porter's gotten around Glover. That is for 4th. Crane also looking really strong right now. The 80 car doing a great job here on the ovals. And once again, Wyatt Jones struggling. Loses a lot of time there. This could be disastrous for Wyatt Jones as his chance at a race win, a 2nd race win of the season, slips away. The Chevrolet is working in tandem right now. Andrew Draco's there, but it's kind of for naught as he's the only Ford in the group in the conversation right now. The list, which I think at this point is too far back. And Wyatt Jones is in a lot of trouble right now. Still behind the 76 of von Sonnen. Now he's going to finally have a chance to get around the 76 this go around. But that took several laps too long. Lecty on the heels of Porter Kelly. With Porter Kelly being the pace setter right now, I don't imagine there'd be a super heavy emphasis on Porter Kelly being lapped at this point. It has gotten them to the dance inadvertently. And this would be a race win. This would be a race result if it holds over the next 52 laps. That would put Highlight Racing really right back on track in the 2024 campaign. Talk about teamwork making the dream work. That's where we're at right now. Wyatt Jones and Natalia Velisevich, they have lost touch with the race leaders. Nicole Lecty into this race 13th in points with 231. Comparatively speaking, Evangeline Porter entered with 335. That's been scrolling at the bottom of the screen for parts of this broadcast. For Simona Leroux, 22nd in points with 178. Not a great time for Simona Leroux this season. This result would really lift her up. It would buoy her up quite a significant amount. Leroux falling behind Andrew Draco there. Draco 2 laps down, kind of just permanently stuck in the 20th position as things run. You have to imagine some level of team orders would be in place here, at least for the time being. 2 cars to tandem there. Velisevich a lap down. Wyatt Jones in 3rd, safely in 3rd as things stand. What you have to worry about as Glover loses several spots there, though, is the pit stop that's up and coming. You're going to want to have friends around you when those pit stops begin. Especially if you have to actually make that pit stop and you're not saved by a caution. You'll have to have friends there. Otherwise, you'll be a sinking stone. That's Wyatt Jones, I think, next concern is, can I hook up with somebody on pit exit and just have draft to ease the pain here? He thought about trying to put Porticali a lap down. Not really any semblance to doing so when Porticali's just going to fight it right back. Save some fuel, extend your pit window a little bit. That way, in case another caution does come out, you can just stay on lead lap. Don't have to come down pit lane quite as early, and potentially just cover off any potential disasters there. Would not be a bad decision if you're Lecty or Leroux, and I think that's what Leroux's doing, I'm pretty sure. Whether or not Lecty elects to do the same is a different story. Draco trying to get one of his laps back could be pretty critical if, again, something dramatic happens. But Lecty seems pretty content to just kind of stay where she's at right now, as the laps continue to trickle away. Not a whole lot of rhyme or reason, so we're going to hold off on doing a through the field, but you see the cluster of cars, 3 of them that are falling back into the clutches of the race leaders, and this could change things up a little bit. All these cars are a lap down, bar Marcus Petrovic. Petrovic is in the 16th position. So there's a couple of positions that could change hands. Porticali 17th, as we mentioned, last car on lead lap. Would love to get around the 21, but here comes pit stops, as we were saying on cue, with 40 to go at the line. And that puts Wyatt Jones on his own. He's on his own. He's got a lap lead. To his credit, he's got a lap lead. He's got a bonus point there. But he is now firmly on his own, because he's going to have the oldest tires of those in the top 5, which is not going to be ideal. He's going to come in a lap later. So those leading pit lane now came in lap before. And teammates exiting together. Big deal there. Porter got checked out there. Not a good line. Exiting pit lane alongside Valdez. Petrovic comes down pit lane after leading a lap. So he stayed out to make sure he got a lap lead, because he's thinking every point counts. And it does. Porticali on an island. But right now, on the lead lap and safe. Ahead of the race leaders. Lecty leading this race once everyone cycles back through. Ahead of Leroux. A 2-horse race and its teammates in that 2-horse race. We've had 2 cars out of this race. One for Hazel Leon, who had a gearbox failure, is what it's being listed as at the moment, and Thomas Rogers with an engine failure. Both of them in the first half of this race. And we have a 3rd engine failure as well, and it was on pit lane, Juliet Takani. Engine failure for Takani. So it's a 10-place grid drop for both Takani and Rogers next week in Denver. Takani on pit lane when that let go. And it'll be a DNF for Takani. Lap traffic central right now for the two race leaders. LaRoe got around Lechty. And this is where we have the chance to sort of talk about this. Simona LaRoe has had a very long and tenured Champ Car career. All of it so far has been with Highlight Racing. She's never won a race in the Champ Car World Series. Her teammate Nicole Lechty, the defending IndyCar World Champion, obviously has had race wins. Has more than a handful. They're battling for a lot right now. For LaRoe, this is an open audition and a chance to go with Red Bull support, with Red Bull money, to a new ride in 2025. For Lechty, this is a chance to catapult herself into the top 10 in points and try to muster a rally in the second half of this season to try to go back-to-back for World Championships. The two teammates fighting with a lot on the line at the moment, knowing that right now it is them in a bubble. Coming to 33 laps to go. Sorry, 32 laps to go. My apologies. Lechty back out in front. Simona LaRoe in second. This is about the time we'll do the breeze through the field. We'll look down further. We'll try to go in order of just where they're out on track. This is the 28, the pink BWT car of Esther Hofson. Right now, Hofson 4 laps down in 22nd position, was the cause of the second caution of the race today after spinning, after missing pit entry. So Hofson stuck only 2 cars 4 laps down. Hofson and Bianca Lucero, who are both battling right now for position, are both right here. This is for 22nd and 23rd. Marcus Petrovic a lap down, sitting in 16th position. Sitting just ahead of Natalia Velicevic, who has been faster and is trying to catch up to the 21 of Petrovic here, to try to get that pass for position before this race comes to an end. Wyatt Jones in third on an island, 5 seconds ahead of Evangeline Porter, but almost 5 seconds behind the Red Bull Highlight Racing teammates. Jones sitting in third, though, will gain something as things sit on the 81, the World Championship leader. Evangeline Porter, 4th place right now, with a chance to minimize the damage here. It would be a 3-point difference from 40 to 37 points. Porter would still have the race. It would still have the championship lead well under control going into Denver next week if things hold stationary. This is all for position. Right behind her, though, all the way to Catherine Hart. So this is Artyom Kozlov sitting in that number 3 machine. Kozlov sitting right now in the top 5, and it is a swarm with Kozlov, with Asher Crane, with Mateus Michelin and Mia Valdez all in the conversation. And they're all right now safely in the top 10. Captain Hart a lap down, stuck right now in the 18th position. Her teammate Angie Draco in 19th. In that group with the leaders, with Stephanie Porter-Kelly as well. Also battling for the top 10, Sakura Ishibashi in 9th. Ahead of BK Glover in 10th. Kage Kobayashi, that yellow and black car in the middle, 2 laps down in 20th. Elise Alexander, first one out of the top 10, 11th place right now, trying to get back into the top 10 here. Anastasius von Sonen just kind of hanging on, 2 laps down in 21st. We have Alicia Kovalkiewicz from 25th to 12th as things sit right now, but not a lot of support, just outrunning Cameron Jackson as things stand. Jackson sitting at 13th. Not the best Honda. That currently right now sits at Asher Crane unless something changes here in the next 25 laps. But right now, it is still anyone's game for those on lead lap. Shufan Zhang also lead lap though, but just barely. 14th place, and you see the race leaders just behind. Stephanie Porter-Kelly in 15th, trying to gain every possible position after leading 90 laps in this race. Andrew Draco now once again 2 laps down after being lapped again by Nicole Lechty. Stephanie Porter-Kelly trying to stay on the lead lap, even if it means leading the race leaders to Shufeng Zhang and company to gain all those extra spots. We've cycled our way back around to the race leader, Lechty Leroux, separated by Andrew Draco and by Stephanie Porter-Kelly, who sits just ahead of this line, providing what is the perfect amount of slipstream for the Iron Maiden. Again, Leroux's never won a race in the Champ Car World Series. Would love to grab a race win here in some way, shape, or form. Nicole Lechty, the 2023 World Champion, her defending World Champion, 6 wins in her career. Trying to find number 7. Here in Kentucky Speedway. For the country of Switzerland, regardless of if it's Leroux or Lechty, it would be Switzerland's 41st win in the World Championship. And here goes the pass for 14th for Porter-Kelly as they get around Shufeng Zhang and put Shufeng Zhang a lap down. If you are Nicole Lechty, and Simona Leroux seems to be struggling a little bit more in this last stanza as lap times continue to tick away. Starting lap 183 right now, 18 laps to go. And now there's 2 cars between Lechty and Leroux, between the Red Bull Highlight Racing teammates. Not impossible, but becoming more unlikely for Leroux to grab that first Champ Car win here this afternoon. But a comfy second place is still going to be some consolidation, some solace in today's race. Red Bull Highlight Racing, for the first time this year, have looked like a cohesive unit. .16 laps to go. See all lap traffic around Wyatt Jones. Evangeline Porter staying ahead of Mia Valdez. That is for 4th and 5th on down. That's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th altogether. Mia Valdez 3rd in points as things stand. Will stay that way. Wyatt Jones will close in on Porter just a little bit by 3 points. Valdez will lose out on Porter and Jones by just a little bit, but gain compared to BK Glover, who's struggling to stay in the top 10. Leroux trying to get around 20 of Shufeng Zhang. This is going to be an open opportunity for Leroux if she can get around, because Lechty got passed by Draco. And Draco, I think, is trying to get around Porter-Kelly. Just gamesmanship at this point, but it could really affect Lechty here, because they are still battling for the race lead here, and if the gloves are off, then this is all game on. And I think Leroux is still in drafting range with 11 laps to go at the line. Oh, 100%. 100% Leroux still in it. Lechty, a 6-time race winner, looking for a 7th race win. LaRoe looking for her first. A win for Lechty with her level with Hazel Leon. 7 race wins for the pair of former world champions. LaRoe, though, shadowing in the distance, coming to 9 laps to go. Teammates close together once more. Lap traffic not far away. That is Von Sonen, but that's also Kovalkiewicz and Jackson not far away either. They shouldn't be a factor. At least Jackson and Kovalkiewicz shouldn't be a factor in the next 9 laps. Von Sonen, though, very much could be a factor in these next 9 laps. Coming to 8 to go. Sorry, going to 7 to go. Excuse me. Seven laps to run. Lechty using the slipstream from Draco and Porticelli to try to stay ahead of LaRoe. 6 to go. Here comes Draco, trying to find a way around Porticelli. Porticelli's car is the strongest one of the bunch, and it shows. Lechty's got to have her head on a swivel here, coming to 5 to go. 5 to go between Red Bull Highlight Racing teammates. This would help propel Lechty into the top 12 in points, into the top 10 in points. It would help get the 77 away from the relegation zone. Four to go. There's Von Sonen, bottom of your screen. He will be a factor. He'll be the last lap car to be a factor. 50 laps led for Lechty. Coming to 3 laps to go. And Von Sonen on the outside lane will be a non-factor as things currently run. Wow, it actually affected LaRoe quite a lot. And I think that pretty well sums up the race in favor of the Iron Maiden. Unless something dramatic happens here in the next 2 laps and 3 miles. Nicole Lechty's going to find a 7th race win in the state of Kentucky. And we're going to have another new winner in 2024. 12 different winners in 13 races is absolutely insane, as LaRoe holds on to 2nd place quite firmly. White flag is in the air, 1 lap to go, presented by PNC Bank. And it's all eyes on the Iron Maiden, Nicole Lechty, the defending world champion. It'll be a Red Bull Highlight Racing 1-2 in an outstanding way. Nicole Lechty returns to victory lane, 7th career win. Lechty wins in Kentucky. Simona LaRoe 2nd. Wyatt Jones holds on for the 3rd spot. Meanwhile, Evangeline Porter, the championship leader, reduces the damage to only 4 points. 4th place for the world championship leader. Matthias Michelin top 5 ahead I believe, of Asterisk Crane. We'll double check to see how that all stacks up. Yeah, Michelin top 5, Crane 6th, Valdez 7th. Then it's Kozlov, Ishibashi, and Alexander, your top 10. BK Glover sits just outside the top 10 in the 11th spot. As the field all comes down pit lane, Kovalkiewicz 12th, Cameron Jackson 13th, the last car on the lap, Steffi Porter-Kelly in 14th. Ahead of Shufin Zhang, Natalia Velisevic, Marcus Petrovic, Catherine Hart, Andrew Draco, Kage Kobayashi, Anastasius von Sonen, Bianca Lucero, and Esther Hofson, 23rd, the last car running. Julia Takani and Thomas Rogers both out with engine failures. Hazel Leon out with a gearbox failure. Let's round up the 26-car field here in Kentucky. A 2-caution race, but a very fast 300-mile event. The Quaker State 300 comes to a close here in Kentucky. Nicole Lecty begins to try to mount her charge towards the championship lead here in the Bluegrass State with 11 races to go. Beginning next weekend at Denver Motorsports Park, we head to the Mile High City for a race at a picturesque oval road course combination. A wild weekend here in Kentucky. We get to do it again next weekend in Colorado. On behalf of everyone here for the AT&T Champ Car World Series, everyone here for ABN Studios, ABN Sports, and the Horizon Corporation from Kentucky Speedway, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next weekend at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for a race in Denver. Till the next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you in just a week's time. So long, everybody.